Okay, here's how this is going to work. You have two packets. This is your assignment, and then this one right here is the examples that you're going to take notes on in the video. Now it says find all real square roots of each number. Now, this is how you make a square root. It's pretty easy, like that. And what I want you to start doing is if it's a square root, you put a 2 in the root index, okay? Now, the reason you put a 2 there is because later on you're going to have some non-square roots. Your roots are not square roots, okay? Again, a square root means what times what equals 625, and they have to be the same thing, okay? They have to both have the same factor, okay? Well, I can figure that on a calculator, but one thing, 2 is an even index, so even indexes have two real square roots, okay? A positive and a negative, okay? So here's how I want you to punch this in. I want you to punch it in differently than you've been doing before because you have to get in the habit. You're going to punch in a 2 for the square root, okay, the 2. And then you're going to hit second, but instead of the key next to the 7, you're going to go up above it and hit that little upside down V, okay? That will also give you a square root. So that's how I want you to do it. I don't want you to do it the old way. And in that root, you're going to place 625, and that's 25. So it could be positive 25 or negative 25. The reason why it's positive and negative, because if I take 25 times 25, that's 625. If I take negative 25 times negative 25, that's also 625. Okay, now the rest of them are the same, pretty much, okay? So I put a root, okay? And if it's a square root, I want to see a 2 in that index right there. Now that's an even. I'll put E. That means we could have a positive or a negative, okay? So remember, you hit 2 first, the number 2 first, and then second, and then the key next to the 7, okay? Or no, sorry, it's 2 for the square root, second, and then the key up above, not the one next to 7, up above it, okay? And that's 0.0025. So I got 0.05. Pretty easy so far. Now the next one, okay? Now the directions say find all the real square roots of each number. So I make a square root and it's even, okay? So I think plus, positive, or negative. But if I go 2, okay, second, and then what I call the caret key, the upside down V, and to do a fraction, you go -4, and then I hit this ABC key here to get a fraction, 9. Now that's a domain error. Now the reason it's a domain error, because normally what we do with square roots is we make it positive and I. But when it's asking you for the real square roots, you don't do I, okay? So if you get a domain error, if you punch it in the calculator, it's a domain error. What you write is no real roots, okay? Because any roots would be i's, okay? That means they're non-real. Okay, next one. Remember, that's even, so it could be a positive or it could be a negative, okay? So I click 2, second, and then the key above the X to the second, this key here, okay? Then 25, ABC, you hit the ABC button to make it a fraction, 144. Okay, I got 5/12. Okay, that's all you do. Pause the video, do 1 through 4, and then resume it, okay? Okay, now in our next problem, find all cubed roots of each number, okay? Now, I don't want this -49 here. What I want you to put instead is 343. Now, instead of a square root, it's a cubed root, okay? So I make a root, but I put a 3 in the index this time because that means cubed. Now what a cubed root's asking is what times what times what equals 343, okay? And they all have to be the same number. Like it can't be 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, so the answer can't be 2. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, now these, if 3 is an odd, now if you have an odd degree, then don't put the positive or negative, okay? Don't put that. Don't put the plus negative. That's only for evens. With odds, you go 3, second, then the key up above, and that's 343, and it's 7, okay? But just 7. Don't put a positive negative, okay? Same thing here. 3. 3's odd, okay? So I don't make the plus or negative. So I go 3, second, and then the caret key, and then 0.343, okay? So it's 0.7. Nope, don't put the positive negative though, okay? All right, so now I put a cubed root, put a 3, that's odd, so don't do the positive negative. Now you're like, oh, I'm going to get a domain error because it's negative. No, that's with square roots. With even roots, that'll happen, but with odd roots, it doesn't. Punch it in. You go 3, because of the cubed root, second, upside down V, and then negative 8, ABC 729, okay? So that's negative 2/9, okay? So this time you actually got, because when it's odd, you're actually going to get something. You don't have to worry about the domain error. Okay, now I miswrote that one. I apologize for that one. I want you to write cubed root, okay? Let's go with 27, negative, okay? Negative 27. So it's odd. The index of the root's odd, okay? So I go 3, second, then the caret key, and then negative 27, okay? It's negative 3. The reason why it's negative 3, because negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 27, okay? So just negative 3 though, not plus negative. Okay, now it goes the same route. It says find all fourth roots of each number, okay? So I make a root, now I put a 4 in the index, okay? Now that's back to an even number, so it'll be positive or negative, okay? So what times what times what times what equals 81? It's got to be the same number, okay? Well, the way to figure that out is by going 4, second, because it's a 4 now, and then above here, caret, and then 81. That's 3. Okay, my next one, negative 81. Okay, that's even. So it could be the positive or negative. So I go 4, second, caret, negative 81. I got a domain error, and that makes sense because now we're back to an even. So when I get domain errors, we write no real roots. Okay, next one, fourth root. Put the 4 in the index, okay? So even, so positive, negative, so I go 4, second, and then this key here, 0.0016, so that's going to be 0.2. Okay, and then right here, over the whole fraction, even, so positive, negative, and I just go 4, second, and the key next to the 7, or no, 4, second, the key above the one next to the 7. Don't quit hitting that one next to the 7. Don't do that no more. 625, ABC, 1296. I got 5, 6, so it's positive 5, 6 or negative 5, 6. Okay, now find the two real solutions of each equation. Now, if all we have is a number to a power that equals a value, we can just simply get rid of the power and make a root. Now, that was a second power, so we put a 2 in the root index, okay? So x equals, now 2's even, okay? So it could be positive or negative. So I go 2 second, key above the x squared, 49, and I got 7. So it could be positive or negative 7. Okay, right here to get rid of a fourth power, you make a root, but I got to put a 4 now in the index, and that again is even, so x will be either a positive or a negative. Okay, so 4 second, and then the key right there. 625 is 5, so it could be 5 or negative 5. Now the reason why that is because if I take 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, 4 of them, 625. If I take negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5, 4 of them, that's also 625. Okay, second power means I make the root and I put a 2 in the index. Don't worry about that side. Just go to the, get rid of it, go to the other side. Okay, and that would be a positive or a negative because again you have an even, okay? If you have an odd, you just don't put the plus negative, you just figure it out. So second, so it's 2, and then second, and the key right here, okay? 0.04, so that's 0.2. Okay, the next one, fourth root, you put a 4. Again, that's even, so I need the plus negative. So I go 4 second, and then caret 16 ABC 625. So that's going to be 2/5, plus or negative 2/5. Excuse me. Okay, now pause the video, pause it, because this last thing is a little bit confusing. Pause the video, here you're doing a cubed root, so you put a 3, no plus negative, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here you'll put a root with a 4, because it's fourth roots. And then here you're just finding the two real solutions for x, okay? Pause the video, and when you're done with number 16, rejoin the video. Okay, now you're going to simplify a radical. These are called radicals. Roots and radicals mean the same thing. So if you see radical, it's talking about a root, okay? There's a 2 in the index. If you can't really see it on yours, it's hard to see in mine. That's a 2 there. Now to simplify it, first off the 16 off to the side, you do that the same way you've been doing it, okay? Now that's even, so we put a positive, negative. And then I go 2. Second, key above the x squared, and then I put 16. That's easy, that's 4, okay? So I put a 4. Now this is how you do variables and exponents, okay? This is a little bit confusing. Now, I put a square root with a 2 in the index, and I just put x. Now you're like, what about the 8th power? Well, I'm going to tell you what to do with the 8th power. You're going to put the 8th power, carry that over here. Then you're going to make a parentheses, and you're going to put a 2 outside so that it matches the root index, okay? 2, 2. Well, when I do that, now I have to get rid of the 8. I have to replace 8 with another number. And the number I replace it with is figured out by taking 8 divided by 2, okay? 8 divided by 2. That's 4. Now again, the reason that works, because if you just, this was 8th power, but if I split it, 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm essentially splitting it. Now why do you do that? Well, here's why. Now the root goes away because the 2's now cancel, and I have x to the 4th. All right. Now, what power is the a to? It was to the 6th, and the b is to the power of 9. So I make a parentheses, and I put a 3 out there to match, but now I have to get rid of the 6. What do I put where the 6 was? I find that by taking 6 divided by 3. That's 2. So I essentially broke the 6 up into 2 times 3. Why do I do that? Because now I can cancel out the 3's, the root index and the power of 3. And I have a to the second. Write that down. And then times, because you got another one. Don't always write times, because AB with no sign means A times B. Okay, so I put a parentheses around it, put a 3 out there to match it, but then we got to cross that out. And I find what goes here by taking 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, now don't cancel all the 3's, just the one in the root index and the one outside. And I have b to the third. Okay, now my next one. Remember, it's to the 8th power here and to the 12th here. So I put a 4 there to match, but now I have to replace the 8. I need to take 8 divided by 4. Okay, 8 divided by 4 is 2. And that then allows me to cross out the 4's, and I have x to the second. I can parenthesize that. Okay, and then 4 and 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay. So 3 times 4 is 12. You can always times these and make sure it's your original. That's a 3, that's a 4. Okay, and I have y to the third then. So x to the second times y to the third. Okay, now I have a number, an actual number to find. It's not a variable, so I figure out that on my calculator. So I go 2 second above the x squared, 81. That's 9. Okay. That's an even, so it could be positive or negative 9. And I don't need to worry, I don't need to put plus negative in front of variables, okay? Only just the numbers when you do them. Okay, and that was x to the 4th, so I put a 4th, but then I rewrite this. I want a 2 out here to match it, and then I divide 4 by 2, that's 2, okay? So those cancel, just these outer 2, but I have x to the second left over. Okay, next one. So no, a, what power is a to? It's to the 12th. Okay, so, and the b is to the 15th. So I rewrite the a, put a 3 out there to match it, and then I find that by taking 12 divided by 3. That's 4. Okay. Cancel those. Okay. And now I have just a to the 4th. There's no root there. Okay. B, rewrite that. We want a 3 to match, and then 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay. So that's b to the 5th. Okay, now I have 256, just whole, x to the 12th and y to the 16th. So 256, I go 4 second caret, okay, caret is the upside down v, 4 second caret, because it's a 4th root of 256, that's 4. That's even, so it could be positive or negative. Okay. Times. Then I come over here and I got x to the 12th, but then I rewrite it. It's a 4th root, so I want a 4 to match it. Then 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, 3 times 4 would be 12. I'm just breaking the 12 up because then I can cancel the 4's. X to the 3rd. Okay. All right. Go ahead and do the last 4, and after I'm done, you can ask me questions if you want.